Adanna's body hit the cold floor, and right before Emeka's eyes, she transformed into a huge, dark snake. Her skin hardened into shiny scales, her legs vanished, and her long tail wrapped around the room as she hissed softly under the moonlight. Emeka froze. His wife, the same woman who laughed gently, who comforted neighbors, who cried with grieving mothers, was now a serpent right in front of him. Stay with me and watch this video to the very end. It had started at a wedding, months before. Emeka had noticed her immediately, Adanna, standing near the buffet, laughing with a group of friends. The sound of her laughter was like music, soft and light, yet it seemed to reach straight into his chest. Her beauty was undeniable. Long, flowing hair that caught the light, a simple hello turned into laughter, which turned into hours of conversation. She was charming, intelligent, and effortlessly captivating. Every story she told seemed magical, every word carefully measured yet genuine. Emeka fell for her, hard and fast. She was perfect, or so he thought. Their courtship was filled with sweet, unforgettable moments, late-night walks, stolen glances, shared secrets, and promises whispered under the stars. Every day with her felt like a page from a dream. When he proposed, it was under the setting sun at the little park where they had first met. He had knelt on one knee, hands trembling, heart racing, and asked her to be his forever. Her eyes glistened with tears as she whispered, "Yes, Emeka, 1,000 times yes." And in that moment, Emeka believed he had found paradise. He believed in love, in forever, and in Adanna, the woman he thought he knew. But that night, as she rose and shifted before his eyes, he realized that paradise could be dangerous. For weeks, Emeka tried to convince himself that what he saw that night was a dream. It started again one night, weeks after the first transformation. Emeka woke up to that same soft sound, the gentle creak of the wooden floor. His heart froze. He opened his eyes slowly, and there she was again. Adanna. Standing at the edge of the bed, her hair falling over her face, her posture strange, wrong. Her chest rose and fell, her breathing slow and deliberate, like something preparing to shed its skin. "Adanna," Emeka whispered. She didn't answer. Instead, her body slowly bent backward, her spine stretching unnaturally. The moonlight touched her skin, and it shimmered. Her arms thinned, her legs merged, her neck elongated. The sound of scales brushing against each other filled the quiet room. In seconds, she was gone. Not as a woman. Not as his wife. But as a long, sleek, dark snake. She hissed once, sharp, cold, a sound that pierced Emeka's soul. Then she crawled under the door and left the room. This time, Emeka followed. Their neighbors, the Okafors, lived just across the compound. Emeka tiptoed behind the snake, praying silently, shaking from head to toe. His mind told him to run. His heart told him to stay. The snake slipped under the Okafor's front door with ease. Emeka hesitated, then entered through the back door, which was always unlocked. He moved carefully, almost blind in the darkness. He heard a soft hiss. Then a faint movement. Then, a child's sleepy mumble. Emeka's blood ran cold. He entered Chisholm's room just in time to see it. The snake, Adanna, coiled beside the little boy's bed. Her head lifted. Her tongue flicked out. Her eyes glowed with a strange, hungry purpose. Before Emeka could understand what was happening, she struck. One sharp bite. Chisholm gasped softly, then fell still. The snake slithered away quietly, leaving behind silence and death. Emeka stood frozen, tears burning in his eyes. He didn't scream. He didn't run. He didn't move. He just watched the creature he married crawl out of the window and glide back toward their home, calm, peaceful, as if she had simply gone out for air. At dawn, the scream that woke the compound shook the whole neighborhood. "Jesus! My child! My son is not waking up," Mama Chisholm's voice tore through the air. People gathered. They cried. They shouted. They prayed. And Adanna was the first to run to their house. She wore a wrapper tied loosely around her chest, crying loudly, holding Mama Chisholm tightly, shaking with fake grief. "Oh God! Chisholm! My heart! What happened? This boy was healthy yesterday," she wailed. Her performance was flawless. She cried louder than even the mother. She comforted everyone. She held the boy's body and closed his eyes gently. She acted like a woman who truly cared. Nobody suspected her. Nobody even looked her way. But Emeka stood at a corner, staring at her. He saw the truth behind her tears. He heard the coldness beneath her voice. He felt the darkness in her presence. And worst of all, he realized something. She enjoyed it. Not the death. Not the pain. But the control. The way she could kill at night and cry in the morning. The way she fooled everyone. The way she lived two perfect, separate lives. A wife in the daylight. A serpent in the dark. Days passed. Then another child died. This time it was the Ibrahim family's daughter, 8 years old. The death was sudden. Silent. Mysterious. Again, Adanna was the first to mourn. Again, the compound believed it was sickness, or maybe poison, or something spiritual. But Emeka knew. He followed her again one night and saw the same thing. The transformation. The slithering. The bite. The quiet return home. She did it to 3 families in the compound. 3 innocent children. 3 devastated homes. And every morning, she cried with them. Held them. Supported them. Like a caring neighbor. Like a peaceful wife. Like a woman with a pure heart. Nobody even imagined she could be the cause of their sorrow. Nobody, except Emeka. And every night, as he watched her crawl back into bed beside him, turning human again, sleeping peacefully like a baby, Emeka felt something growing inside him. Fear. Deep fear. Fear that he might be next. The night air was thick and heavy, as if it too held its breath. Emeka had spent sleepless nights plotting, praying, and thinking of a way to stop Adanna. Fear gnawed at his heart, but courage now burned brighter. Emeka had gone to Pastor Jeremiah, a respected man in the village known for dealing with spirits and forces beyond understanding. "You must confront her with truth and faith," the pastor had said gravely, holding a small vial of water. "This is holy water. Sprinkle it on her while she is transforming. It will stop the darkness. But beware, the truth will be unbearable." Emeka had nodded, clutching the vial tightly. His hands shook, but he knew this was the only way. Tonight, the nightmare would end. He followed her to the Ibrahim family house, the last house she had visited that night. The snake slithered silently across the floor, eyes glowing, tongue flicking like fire. Emeka stepped forward, heart pounding. "Adanna," he shouted. The sound of her name made her pause mid-slither. She froze, her glowing eyes turning toward him. Then, in an instant, she lunged, human reflex mixed with serpent grace. But Emeka was ready. He stepped closer and, shaking, threw the holy water directly onto her as she transformed. The effect was immediate. Her body convulsed. She screamed, a sound that was part human, part his. Her form flickered violently between human and snake. Scales erupted across her arms, but her face remained human, twisted in fear and rage. She could no longer transform fully. Half human, half snake, trapped between worlds. Emeka's heart wrenched at the sight. The woman he loved, and feared, was now something in between. But he didn't hesitate. The village had to know. By sunrise, the villagers had gathered. The children's families, The neighbors, everyone who had suffered in silence, stood quietly. They had heard whispers of what was happening, but nothing could have prepared them for the sight of Adanna. Half human, half snake, she slithered before them, her eyes wide, glowing faintly, as though pleading. "Please, please listen," she hissed, voice shaking. Emeka stepped forward, holding her gaze. "Adanna, confess. Tell them what you did." Tears streamed down her human face. Her snake tongue flicked as she spoke, voice trembling. I went into your homes. I beat the children. I caused their deaths. I wept with you. I lied to all of you, and to Emeka, my husband. I am sorry." The villagers gasped. Mothers screamed. Fathers shouted. The sun rose over the compound, catching the horrid sight in golden light. Shame. Horror. Betrayal. Every emotion collided in that moment. Some tried to reach her, some wanted to call the law. But the anger, grief, and pain of those who had lost their children boiled over. Stones were picked up from the ground. Adanna pleaded, her half-human form trembling. "Please. I beg you. Do not." But the villagers, driven by sorrow and rage, threw stones. She hissed, cried, and slithered desperately, but the holy water had weakened her fully. She could no longer escape, could no longer transform. One final scream echoed through the morning air. Then, silence. The snake wife, the deceiver, the murderer, was gone. Emeka stood quietly among the crowd, tears streaking his face. He felt a strange mix of relief and grief. Relief that the nightmare had ended. Grief for the woman he had loved, the wife he had trusted, the life he had imagined. The villagers whispered among themselves. Fear lingered, but so did a lesson: not all that glitters is gold. Beauty can hide darkness. Trust can be broken. Evil can wear a smile. Emeka returned home that day. The house felt empty, heavy with silence. But for the first time in months, he could breathe. He knew he had survived deception, survived fear, and survived loss. And though his heart ached, he whispered a prayer. "Lord, may I never be blinded again. May I always see the truth beneath the mask." The sun rose over the compound, shining on the homes, the fields, and the empty house where Adanna once smiled. Life moved forward, and Emeka, broken, wiser, and stronger, took his first step into a future where trust would be earned, not given.